Welcome back, dear listeners, to another deep and meaningful episode from our channel. If this is your first time tuning in, we're truly happy you're here. Go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell, and share this episode with a friend who's also learning English. Your support helps us grow and continue producing high-quality, thoughtful episodes filled with real value. Episodes that inform, inspire, and move you forward on your language journey. Today, we're diving into a topic that often hides in the background of most learners' routines, but in reality, it's the foundation. It's the heartbeat of real fluency, listening. Not just any listening, but intentional, deep, daily listening, especially through podcasts. So get ready, because this episode is packed with insights that might completely shift the way you approach English learning.
Hi, Elena. I'm so glad we're talking about this today. I've been feeling stuck lately. I read grammar books, memorize words, even practice speaking, but I still feel like English isn't flowing naturally for me. People say just to listen more, but how exactly does listening unlock everything else?
That question, James, is the beginning of your breakthrough. Listening, real, active listening, doesn't just expose you to English. It builds your brain in English. It's not passive. In fact, it might be the most powerful active skill, one that silently feeds all the others: speaking, reading, writing, even thinking.
So it's more important than grammar?
Grammar is structure. Listening is the soul. You can study every rule, past perfect, future continuous, but if you haven't heard those tenses in real, natural conversation, they'll always feel foreign. Listening teaches you rhythm, tone, flow. It connects the mechanical with the emotional. And when you listen every day, especially to spoken content like podcasts, your brain gradually rewires to feel the language, not just study it.
Why are podcasts better than, say, audiobooks or scripted lessons?
Because podcasts are unscripted, flexible, emotional, and filled with life. They reflect how people really speak. Not like textbooks that say, "Where is the bank? It is on Main Street." Instead, podcasts show real dialogue like, "Yeah, so I was just heading downtown and boom, I walked right past the old bank, which is now a cafe." Real language, real rhythm. Plus, podcasts come in endless topics: culture, science, travel, food, personal growth. That's why your brain connects English with things you love. That's huge.
But if I don't understand everything, won't I just get lost?
It's okay to get lost. In fact, that's the path. At first, you'll understand 30%, then 50%, then one day, 90%. This gradual exposure, especially repeated exposure, builds what scientists call comprehensible input, language that's just slightly above your level, so you stretch without feeling defeated.
Interesting. So even if I don't catch everything, I'm still growing.
Exactly. You're feeding your subconscious. You're planting seeds. And these seeds bloom in unexpected ways. One day you'll speak or write a sentence and think, "Where did that come from?" Well, it came from all those hours of listening.
Can listening really help with pronunciation too?
Oh, yes. Most pronunciation problems don't come from the mouth. They come from the ear. If you haven't heard native rhythm enough times, your brain has no model to imitate. Listening builds your internal echo, the voice in your head that guides your speaking. Even without trying, your pronunciation gets smoother just by absorbing correct patterns again and again.
And what about writing?
Listening shapes writing in ways few people realize. When you hear natural phrasing often, you start writing more naturally too. Phrases like, "I've been meaning to," or "it turns out that," or "all of a sudden." These don't come from grammar books. They come from real conversations. and podcasts are full of them.
So let me ask this. Why do some learners listen for years but still don't speak well?
Two reasons. First, passive listening only. If you're listening while distracted, cooking, driving, scrolling, you'll absorb something, yes, but slower. Second, no reflection. You need to pause and ask, what was that phrase? Why did they say it like that? Can I repeat that sentence myself? Active listening, even 10 minutes a day, changes everything.
That makes sense. Do you have a suggested method for someone who wants to really use podcasts for learning?
Absolutely. Here's a basic system. 1, choose a podcast that's just slightly above your level. Not too hard, not too easy. 2, listen once without stopping. Just enjoy the flow. 3, listen again and pause often. Repeat phrases out loud. 4, write down 3 to 5 expressions you liked. 5, use those phrases in your own speaking or writing that day.
And how often should I do this?
If you want real results, daily, even just 15 to 20 minutes. Language is not a subject, it's an environment. You need to bathe your brain in English.
That's powerful. I've tried many apps, but I always stop. Podcasts feel more alive.
Exactly. Podcasts are human. They carry emotion, energy, connection. You begin to recognize voices, follow stories, connect with ideas. You're not just learning words, you're building relationships with English.
Have your students had results from this method?
Absolutely. One of my students from Colombia listened to podcasts for 6 months, every day during her commute. She didn't study grammar books at all, but when she came to our speaking session, I was shocked. Her fluency, tone, rhythm, all so natural. Why? Because she listened deeply with her full attention every single day.
That's so inspiring. So, just to wrap it up, listening improves vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, writing, fluency, everything?
Yes, because listening is the soil. Everything grows from there. If you do nothing else but listen daily to rich English input, your progress will surprise you. And in time, you'll not only understand podcasts with ease, but you'll start to think in English, respond in English, and even dream in English. That's the real transformation, James. Not just knowledge, but identity.
That sounds powerful, Elena. Almost like becoming a new version of yourself.
It is. And you know what helps more than anything else? Consistency. Keep listening, even if you don't understand everything. Keep showing up every day. One episode, one conversation, one word at a time. And for everyone listening right now, that's exactly why we're building this podcast community. We want to make sure you're not alone on this journey. So if you've enjoyed this episode and felt inspired or learned something new, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who's also trying to learn. It might be your friend, your sibling, your study partner. And don't forget to subscribe because we've got so many exciting topics coming up, from grammar insights to real-life English stories, tips from language learners around the world, and of course, more deep conversations like this one. This way, we all grow together with knowledge, with encouragement, and with a bit of fun. So, stay curious, stay consistent, and until next time, keep listening.